Hello, good day everyone. By the way, I am Iris R. Gayola and I'm third year BLIS student. And this is the continuation of our discussion, which is Chapter 7.
Chapter 7. Qualitative Research Methods. What comes into your mind when you hear the word qualitative research?
Qualitative research tends to apply a more holistic and natural approach to the resolution of a problem than does quantitative research.
Underlying principles of naturalistic work. Naturalism as a research paradigm.
When defined as a research paradigm, rather than as a research method, naturalism is an approach that posits reality as holistic, based in the perceptions of individuals and communities.
Naturalism in LIS research. The naturalistic paradigm only recently has been accepted in the applied or professional schools.
The professional schools of social work and information studies have always lagged behind the academic disciplines in accepting new theoretical and methodological trends. Because of their marginal position, people in these fields tend to be conservative, the imitators rather than the innovators.
Role of mixed or multi-method research.
A mixed methods or multi-methods approach, in some cases, provides the necessary array of data. The mixed methods approach posits as a false dichotomy the absolute, forced choice of either qualitative or quantitative methods.
4 basic principles guide mixed method design.
1. Determine and adhere to the theoretical impetus underpinning the project. 2. Work to account for the impact of the method that is brought into the primary methodological thrust. 3. Drive the design decisions from the assumptions of the base method. 4. Employ only the essential data sets.
There are 9 broad research purposes include predicting, adding to existing knowledge, impacting on a personal, institutional, or social leave, measuring change, understanding phenomena, testing new ideas, approaches, solutions, or hypotheses, generating new ideas, approaches, solutions, or hypotheses, informing stakeholders, participants, and other constituents, examining the past, ethical concerns.
Researchers face ethical challenges in all stages of the study, from designing to reporting. These include anonymity, confidentiality, informed consent, researchers' potential impact on the participants, and vice versa.
Data gathering techniques. The act of gathering data for a qualitative study is an evolving process rooted in ongoing analysis. It involves more than obtaining discrete units of information. First, sampling.
In research terms, a sample is a group of people, objects, or items that are taken from a larger population for measurement.
The sample should be representative of the population to ensure that we can generalize the findings from the research sample to the population as a whole. The 2 criteria for determining the right number of interview participants are sufficiency and saturation. Sufficiency refers to the effort to include all the subpopulations involved. Saturation refers to the point at which the critical elements of the study have become saturated, that is, until further exemplars fail to add new nuance or to contradict what is understood. A second key factor must be involved, namely, the nature of the research question being asked. First, 1. A phenomenological study might seek to understand the nature of the anxiety as felt by those students. 2. An ethnographic study might seek to describe the in-library behavior of students. The researcher would therefore need a larger sample of the student population 15 to 20 plus. 3. A grounded theory study might seek to describe the social and psychological processes that those with library anxiety go through in their use of the library. The most common sampling techniques in qualitative studies follow the thread of purpose. In LIS research, the following methods may be most useful. 1. Maximum variety sampling.
This method seeks as heterogeneous a sample as possible and is useful when seeking to identify patterns and commonalities that exist across otherwise divergent individuals.
2. Extreme case sampling.
This method selects participants who appear to exemplify characteristics of interest 49 in order to clarify the critical issues in an
3.
area.
Intensity sampling.
This technique identifies participants who have a great deal of experience rather than an extreme experience with a phenomenon.
4. Snowball sampling.
This method identifies participants who are linked through shared experiences, perspectives, or other factors. Participants point the researcher towards other individuals in the same population.
Observation.
Observation is a broad category of data gathering in which the naturalistic researcher must choose a point of balance between observing and participating.
A potentially effective means of deepening the field's understanding of human behavior. Observation requires careful efforts to prepare, gather data, respect participants, and analyze data. Researchers are expected to 1. Use the extant research literature as one means of providing background, insight, and questions. 2. Gain access to a community with 3. integrity. Choose a sample which most effectively addresses the research questions. 4. Deliberately identify and follow a chosen researcher role. 5. Document data collection with care, detail, and reflection. Meet all ethical obligations, particularly those which are unexpected. 7. Leave the field ethically. 8. Analyze the resulting data accurately. Interview honestly in all their variety. Interviews are a valuable, qualitative method for researchers who make effective choices along the continuum between structured and unstructured interviews. The structured interview is the mode of choice when the interviewer knows what he or she does not know and can, therefore, frame appropriate questions to find it out. While the unstructured interview is the mode of choice when the interviewer does not know what he or she doesn't know and must therefore rely on the respondent to tell him or her. Probe questions that follow the main questions could be of the following types. 1. Continuation follows up on the same participant to elicit more details. Complete a train of thought that was interrupted. Complete a description. 2. Elaboration solicit further analysis or explanation of a specific point. They are focused in and only add to an area without leading to new topics. Clarification used to clear up the interviewer's own understanding of the participant's comments. They might involve language, culture, or simply clarification. 4. Steering probes. These are designed to move the interview back into the areas of interest or away from areas that are being avoided. 5. Sequence probes. These are designed to elicit explanations of how phenomena progress in a step-by-step or staged fashion. 6. Evidence probes ask people to explain the basis for their viewpoints, opinions, or beliefs. 7. Slant probes seek to identify, often indirectly, the participant's bias, perspective, worldview, or mental model of a phenomenon. Data analysis tools and methods. 2 principles of qualitative data analysis recur in virtually all descriptions of it.
First, analysis is an ongoing process that feeds back into the research design right up to the last moment of data gathering.
Second, whatever model hypothesis eventually develops must grow naturally from the data analysis rather than standing to the side as in a prior statement that the data will affirm or refute. Discourse analysis.
Discourse analysis, developed by Michel Foucault, has the capacity to track historically the origins of and challenges to mainstream ideas and to illustrate marginalized ideas.
Discourse analysis can be linguistically or culturally based. Content analysis basics. One of the most commonly used data analysis techniques of qualitative research, content analysis, uses a set of procedures to make valid inferences from text. Content analysis is applied in qualitative, quantitative, and mixed method studies. 1. Content analysis terms. Before exploring the techniques of content analysis, it is necessary to review a few of the basic terms relating directly to coding. First,
1. A datum is a unit of information that is recorded in a durable medium, distinguishable from other data, analyzable by explicit techniques, and relevant to a particular problem. 2. Categories organize each datum by grouping it in with others that share similar denotations or connotations. 3. Themes then cluster categories that share some commonality, such as reference to a single issue.
the constant comparative method of content analysis. The constant comparative method, codified by Glaser and Strauss, 122, is generally recognized as one of the most effective means of qualitative content analysis. Originally, the constant comparative method was described in 4 stages. 1. Comparing incidents applicable to each category. 2. Integrating categories and their properties. 3. Delimiting the theory. 4. Writing the theory. Coding data.
Coding of data refers to the process of transforming collected information or observations to a set of meaningful, cohesive categories.
3 different types of coding.
Open coding,
Axial coding, selective coding. Open coding is the initial, provisional work done on an unrestricted basis to produce concepts that fit. Axial coding takes place during the latter portions of open coding as major categories emerge. Selective coding takes place as soon as open and axial coding have begun to establish moving from categories to theory. The process of moving from coding to theory or pattern generation is ongoing, but when saturation has been reached, it is necessary to leave the field and begin the final analysis. Organizing data by categories, themes, and concepts can provide a framework that supports the move from coding to theory. Data can be organized by categories, themes. Ensuring coding integrity. During coding, 3 techniques help ensure the integrity of the work. First, the acceptable reliability level must be established prior to test, coding and met regularly before final coding. Face validity, i.e., the correspondence between investigators' definitions of concepts and their definitions of the categories that measured them is necessary, but far from sufficient. Construct validity requires that a category or code should appear to measure the construct it is intended to measure. Developing grounded theory. Grounded theory is a qualitative method that enables you to study a particular phenomenon or process and discover new theories that are based on the collection and analysis of real-world data. In the continuing thread of Anselm Strauss's development of work on grounded theory, 3 types of analytic maps provide useful means of generating theory.
situations, both human and non-human elements, social worlds, analytic axes.
Ensuring integrity.
Ensuring integrity is no more difficult for naturalistic work than it is for positivist work, but again, the means differ.
Presentation of findings. There are 5 points specific to the presentation of qualitative research findings that bear mention.
First, in almost any forum it may be necessary to explain the concepts behind naturalistic methods.
Second, qualitative research requires great detail and explication of both data gathering and data analysis, as does sound quantitative research. One ethic of particular value to qualitative research requires the researcher to make some return to the community. Fourth, in almost every case, researchers must make active, careful decisions about giving voice to the participants. Finally, if research is simply to help us understand the world, then the act of scholars publishing solely for other scholars in the same field makes a modest contribution to that goal. Reflection.